Using the copy, yeah.
Oh yeah, because you can use this one.
Did you look at the match?
No,
The left.
makes the part for sure.
We need to. We need I mean, hitting seems clear, right?
Clear, yeah, so we hit. Maybe come out. Just the force, hit on top of the trees. Usually we bring it down. I bring the 5 point in, the 6 so you feel.
I think we need another check for his own part. I mean, just give him good sixes anyway. It just doesn't seem like it's that helpful. If we get every fight, I'd rather be back anyway.
Okay, okay. So
Why did you leave? I would probably do this, but I'm doing the other play. Where do you have it in Europe?
Yeah, I like it.
I'm on the longboat team.
Yeah, also down in the lens.
If it's duplicated, then I would come. But this is 4, this is 5. I don't want to give him too much double shot. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, or
The boys, don't stop him. Let him make his play.
because like small numbers mostly.
Yeah. Just make yeah. And they have to move as well.
Go for it. I think he passes.
Yeah, there's two choices. One, we could come out. The other one is playing safe. If we come out, that should go here. How many shots? 18 numbers. 19 numbers. Let me take a look at it. Yeah. Maybe 4. Maybe 4. Yeah. The problem is that we have to come out at some point anyway. So the question is why not now? They have 6-4 carry value. But underneath that, 5-1. Yeah, can we come out? Let's see. Maybe here? There's less number to get hit. Only 18 numbers to get hit. That would be my play.
Dennis, can I put on his head without...
No, I think it's too much to give a so I think I'll unslot maybe. Yeah.
Seems like it plays itself.
We have a decent game.
Defense 6. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think we should stay here. So yeah, that's fine.
Also number for 5-1, 3.
Yeah, 6-5.
So we have to go 5-3. 4-3.
Over here with the big TV this I'm getting it.
So if we come out, it's gonna be 18. Any bad numbers, for example? 2-1 is bad. If we come out, I'm just checking. 1 is bad, 1, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 2, 3, 2, 4. 2, 4, no, 2, 4 is okay.
It's a 6 plus it's a 5-2 plus it's whatever. If it comes earlier, then it's more numbers.
Yeah. He doesn't have bad numbers. Right. yeah, too many people down. We push it again. They don't have run numbers. Well, I'm kind of surprised that you didn't hit this so far.
Yeah, wasn't sure.
Yeah, there were only like 6 hand sequences, right? If you just come in, and the problem is I thought if you hit with a 5.4, if you have 2 more lots out here, you can go more.
That's true. But then you have about 5 and about 6.
Yeah, well, these are all just, oh, we're hitting the same.
Plus the middle.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
Cover the options.
all the 23.
They are not yours.
Yeah, I think so because I unstacked the midpoint already.
Okay.
That's one of the options we pointed out to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not great, but stripping
It's got
very
stripping needed, right?
and
Just whatever checker here. Yeah,
I don't see anything better.
which Russian is it?
Yeah.
On the throat. On the throat. On the throat. On the throat. That's where I always put it.
Yeah, but only give us
Yeah.
6.
With the camera set up, it's nice to put it on a nice cover.
Greetings from New York Metro. Phil Simborg here, and I'm really excited to be doing the commentary on this particular match. We have the number 1 and number 2 players in this tournament, Mochy and Dirk. They're both ranked number 1 and 2, and they're the 2 favorites on the betting. And they should be. They have the 2 highest, the best PRs in the world. Everybody knows Mochy, the number 1 player in the world. Dirk was number 2 in the world back in 1993. Then he went out and played poker for a bunch of years and came back, and he's written 2 amazing books. Their partners, it's very interesting. Both of their partners are my students, or have been my students. David Stein from Chicago is an old friend of mine, played in our Chouette, and was getting killed, and he started taking lessons from me for a couple of years. And then after he got to be pretty good, I fixed him up with Dirk as his teacher, and they became very good friends. And both books that Dirk wrote, David helped edit and helped write. They're very, very good friends, and they've been together in Costa Rica, and they traveled together. It was a great match. Mochy is playing with Tim Gordon. Tim lives in New York City, and Gordon partners real estate. And Tim also has a condo in Miami, and I live in Florida. And I go back and forth. And I've been working with Tim for quite a while, and his wife. They both take lessons, and I fixed them up with Mochy to play in this tournament. They both won their first rounds in this high roller. It's $5,000 entry fee high roller. Only the very best players pretty much found partners to play in this. I'm not sure who the other teams are. I know Al Shawaki and Ethan Price Shue are alive playing a match. And I think they had 11 teams at $5,000. That's $55,000. So they're playing for quite a bit of money. In the first round, I know that Mochy and Tim played the German team of Fredericks and Kimon and beat them. In fact, they were doubled 3 times and won all 3 games, so they came from behind to win. I don't know. I haven't looked at the draw sheet. I don't know who Dirk and David played. You would, based on the better player who's generally going to be controlling the game, you would make Mochy only a very tiny favorite over Dirk. I mean, it's almost flip a coin. Dirk's PRs are right there with Mochy. And by PR, I'm talking about their rating based on the computer, based on Extreme Gammon. The lower your PR, the better. I think Mochy's around 2.3 and Dirk is around 2.5. It's so close. So Dirk is back. When Dirk was number 2 almost every year, Johannes Leverman was number 1, and he's playing again. He's finally come back, and he's actually at this tournament. There is a go to Gourmet Betting. It's on my website, and you can actually place a bet with different odds on different players. This morning we came up with a fun one. You can bet on all the Jewish guys. You can bet on the professors, myself and Kit Woolsey and others that have written books, Dirk Schiemann and so on as a group. You can bet on the Germans against the world. I think it's 7-1 on their winning. It's an incredibly tough German team. Tobias Hellwig and Dirk Schiemann, Mario Kuhl, some other really fine players. Kimon is part of the German group. So it's some really fun betting going on. And of course, you can bet on any individual as well. Okay, let's go on to get into this match. Dirk and David take the lead 1-0, which means very little right now in a 9-point match. You wouldn't change your game at all for that. This is your classic, typical 5-point holding game. In a 5-point holding game, the race is everything. And I use the rule of 4 to decide when the double. If you have 4 or fewer checkers on your midpoint and a landing spot and you're up 15% in the race, it's always a double. And it's almost always a take. This is going to be probably a take, except that checker on the 8-point is actually an asset for Dirk and David, because if they roll a 5 and make that point, they've got 2 landing places, which makes it harder for them to leave a shot. So this is really close to whether it's a take or pass. The race is well over 15% without counting, just eyeballing it. Clearly automatic double in these situations. But my good friend Grant Hoffman came up with the rule of 4. 4 or fewer on the midpoint, a landing spot, and 15% up in the race is a double. And almost always a take. And we're talking about for money or at a normal match score. And this would qualify as a normal match score, meaning the take point is right about 22%. Gammon value is about 0.5. But Gammon's isn't really a factor here. All right. I thought it was a take as well. And when you're losing 1-0, that's a tiny, tiny incentive to take. This is a very poor roll for them. It's very bad for racing, and he didn't get to make that 8-point. He would have loved to make the 8-point because it would be easier to bring his checkers home. So this could easily turn into a race. If you put this in the computer, you'll see that Mochy and Tim would win this game anywhere from about, I'd say, 25 to 27%, right in that range. And again, their take point was about 22% in a live cube take point. Live meaning when you have the chance to recube. All right, so that pretty much ends the game. The odds of getting a shot and hitting it are just terrible. And it's all over but the shouting. Now, of course, there's always that outside chance that Mochy and Tim will roll double 6s 3 times. And you know what's going to happen if you're a negative thinking person, which is most of the people in backgammon. But the odds of getting a shot, they're going to get down to a point where only a 6-2 would leave a shot. That's about 5% of the time, and it only gets hit about 30% of the time. 5 times 3 is 1.5% chance of getting a shot and hitting it. So that's not real good odds to win. It's going to bring both in because you don't want double jeopardy by There's no reason to leave 3 of them out there because you could leave a shot on the next roll, and then if you clear one, you just leave a shot on the following roll. So just clear and hope you don't roll a 6-2. If you roll a 6-2, just shrug your shoulders and say, okay, the dice gods say it's my turn to get unlucky, but I'll get my turn to be just as lucky. No 6-2 here, and they clear it. There it is. Any other roll but 6-2, you clear that point. It's strictly a race. Now they notice they have 5 checkers on the 6 point. That means double 5s and double 6s leave a shot. Again, that's 2 rolls out of 36. 1 out of 36 is 2.778%. So it's about 5.5% of the time they're going to leave a shot here. And they didn't roll it, so they want to get to even there, take a checker off. Now there's nothing that leaves a shot on the next roll. You're always thinking about what leaves a shot. So I would probably run with 1 checker right here if I were Mochy. He doesn't need 2 of them there. Only a double 1 would hurt you, and you don't want to waste pips. You want to get off the gammon, and of course there's still a very tiny chance of winning the race. That's an awkward roll. Certainly not going to hit. Just going to take a checker off. Now with 3 checkers there, the only thing that leaves a shot is 6-5. Everything else plays. So again, only 2 rolls out of 36. Only a 6-5 leaves a shot. And you might take 2 off here. By moving 1 now, 6-1 and 5-1 leave a shot. Twice as many numbers leave shots, and you get fewer checkers off. So I would leave 3 checkers there. There is that argument about double jeopardy, but generally this is right to leave the 3 checkers. You're leaving half as many shots. Now, I'd probably stay because you're probably not going to get gammon, and you might get a shot if he rolls a 6-5. But again, if he rolls a 6-5, you got to hit it. But you also slow him down on the bear off by being there. All right, this is forced. Now 6-1 and 5-1 will leave a shot. And you might stay for 6-1 and 5-1. You may as well, because I think you're safe at running off the gammon anyway. Mochy must not be that good. He's agreeing with me on every play. All right. It's delaying the pain. I love when that happens. Now he's got to decide again whether to run. Now he has to run. Okay. Now it's all over. It's going to be 2 points. Well done by both teams, of course. I can assure you the PR in this game was probably 0 for both players. I can't imagine that there was any play that the computer wouldn't completely agree with. It was fairly a simple game from the time I started watching. I would go to the ace and take 1 off because you're more likely to miss several times if the ace point is open. The 3 point you might never miss. If you don't roll a 3 on the first roll, then 3s will play if you roll 2 high numbers. So that's why the ace is right. And of course he rolls the 3. Not that it matters. Looking at your opponent's board, it's not going to matter. But that was the right play. You'd rather fill the ace point than the 3 point. I cannot tell you how much science there is to bearing off. If you really want to get good at it, read either one of Bob Wachtel's books, In the Game to the End. He covers that very, very well. Bob Wachtel wrote his first book, In the Game to the End, in 1993, before we really had good computers. And then after the computers came out, he checked it and found out that almost everything he said was right. And he wrote a follow-up book that corrected a few things and added a few more things to it. So that's how I learned a lot about bearing off and playing in the game till the end when you're holding the ace point. That's interesting. 5-4, they still split. When I'm losing, I've come down with 2 with 5-4, but Mochy doesn't agree. I guess Mochy's not that good after all, if he doesn't agree with me. I would have brought 2 down with 5-4. I would play more of a gammon go type game. But maybe he just prefers that style. I find that very interesting. I'm going to have to study that some more and find out why with the 5-4 you come up when you're losing. Maybe he's not feeling like he's losing by enough. I wish they would play dice on checkers. I really like that rule. Save a lot of time. You know what the number is anyway. Now you split. The reason you don't come down is because your opponent is split and you're giving him a double indirect shot. And you need to get those back checkers moving. This is not an easy play for me. I think you make the 2-point. It's got to be the 2-pointer run. This is really not a easy play at all. Mochy is famous for using a lot of time on the clock early in the match and getting into time trouble at the end. I've talked to him about it, and he's never given me a good answer why he does it. I think most people should save a little extra time at the end, because I think your plays at the last game are much, much more important than your plays in the first game. But I'm not going to tell Mochy he's doing anything wrong, that's for sure. Double hit? I like the double hit because you unstack the 6-point. Although making the anchor, boy, making the 20-point is very strong. I really don't know what's right here. Dirk's first book with the theory of backgammon is probably the most intellectual and detailed book ever written by anybody on the game of backgammon. It took me 6 months to read it, and I still haven't absorbed it all, but it's brilliant. Then he made another book more recently called Hit or No Hit, which is a fabulous book, and it's how many times do you have that problem, should you hit or not? And if you read that book, you'll get a lot out of it. So Dirk is just brilliant, and of course his partner David Stein helped write the book. I'm sure you can get them both from Amazon or from Carol Cole. Mochy wrote a great book also with Marc Olsen. I think he wrote half of the book, and Mochy's part of the book was incredible. Marc's was too. It's just a fabulous book. We've got better books out now than ever. Mochy's also written some very fine books lately. And if you're an intermediate player, my favorite is Conquering Backgammon by Ed Rosenblum. Or Backgammon, if you want to have some fun, read Backgammon to Lose. This play is really interesting. Backgammon to Lose by Simon Hill. And I helped edit both of those books. So I'm a little prejudiced towards them, but I think they're very, very well written for intermediates. And just yesterday, somebody asked me, what's my favorite book for an open player or a high intermediate? And that would have to be Backgammon Boot Camp by Walter Trace. He breaks the game down into the same pieces that at the Backgammon Learning Center, we do the same thing. By the way, the Backgammon Learning Center has 25 teachers around the world. 2 of them are sitting right here, Mochy and Dirk. Both are members of the Backgammon Learning Center. They have all of our material. We collaborate together on our curriculum and on the material. And both Dirk and Mochy have added much to our group. I have no idea how you play the 1 here. I would split. I like the split. You can see how much time Mochy's taking on this. And he will listen to David. David is a very fine player, by the way. I would say David's about a 4.5 PR player. Tim is more of a beginner, less experienced, and a newer player. So Dirk is going to listen to David's opinions quite a bit, I think. And I think Mochy's going to pretty much make his own plays. Although Tim is no slouch. Tim's a nice player. Tim's a real estate developer. His wife is a doctor at Cornell, and at Columbia, rather. And they're both taking lessons from me together. And really both love the game and getting good. They both joined our new club here in New York, 7 Spring. Private club for backgammon action. I'm a small partner of that club, but I'm in charge of activities. I just lost my screen, so I'm not sure if you can still hear me, if we're still...
Just the one that you
This looks like a take to me, by the way. I like the double quite a bit, but I'm not sure. I might pass it. Oh, they passed it. 4-0. Okay. I guess it was gammonish because they didn't have an anchor. Could have been blitzed. And holding the 20 point gives a lot of security the other way. Okay, we've got a pretty big lead here. Now I clearly play gammon go and gammon save. If I roll a 5-4 now, I'm certainly going to bring 2 down. I see what Mochy does. 6-4, you're supposed to make the 2 point if you're losing. Here you're supposed to run. Play gammon save. The split is fine, or just running. But if you were behind, if Mochy had the opening 6-4, he should make the 2 point. Ah, here's a good shot. Hit in the outfield. I always want to hit on the other side of the board, cost him more pips and another checker back. Ah, good anchor. I'm a hitter. I'm not sure where the 4 is, but I know I'm hitting because I'm leaving blots anyway. Probably come up with the 4 and hit. You could come down with the 4 and hit, play it really big, but I start with the hit, which is what they did. That was my play. I really thought Mochy was a better player. He's making a lot of my plays. Hit 2. It's thematic. 2 on the bar is better by far. That's my play. I bring 2 in also. All right, we got us a wild game. Oh, he's going to hit 2 again. Make the 4 point. You'd rather make the 4 point than hit loose on the 5. It's an easy choice. First you cover, then look for a 3. I mean, hit. I can't see. 5 what? 5-3, 5-2. A little bit of a glare there. 5-3. I guess you come down. Yep. Oh, that makes a good anchor. I don't see much else you can do that's productive. You may as well anchor. May as well make the 20 point. I can't imagine why you wouldn't. Hit and continue. Hit and continue. Gregory, thank you for, Graham, I'm sorry, you're setting this up for us. And Bryden doing the technical work here on the streaming.
This is King Shot, a tower defense and base building strategy.
Watch the chat here. Okay. Okay, I'm going to try and watch the chat on my phone. If you have some comments or questions or something you want me to talk about, you want my life story, or you want to know about my last date, be happy to fill it in. Just put a question in on the chat. There is a 1.5 minute delay, by the way, from the live action to what you're seeing. That's so that people can't electronically transmit to the players what to do. We've seen that happen in chess and poker and other games. And it probably has happened at some point in backgammon. If there's a way to cheat, people will find it. Although I'm really happy to say backgammon has very little cheating anymore. When I started playing major tournaments 25, 30 years ago, there was a problem. Every now and then we'll hear about it, but it's very rare. I love these kinds of games. It's complicated. It looks a little bit like Pasco Gammon, which is a big, deep back game I invented and named it in honor of my good friend Jim Pasco, where you start out in a deep back game, and it gets very complex, and it's really good practice. And a lot of people play it for fun and for money. I love variations. It really tests you and creative, and they're fun. But it'll prepare you for games like this. The 5-7 double holding game. We don't call this a back game. Back game's got to have a low point or two. I would go to the midpoint with the 5. Play it really big. That's where he's pointing to. It's interesting. There's a lot of conversation with both. They're good friends. Mochy and Dirk have done a lot of things together. All right, we're going to have a really good, exciting back game here. I love this. Roll a 2, please. That's not going to give us our back game. Ooh, without hesitation, making it. Hitting is a real major thought here. You'd like to get more checkers back. Why give him his full roll? I would hit. All right, I've lost the screen again. Oh, we're back. We're back. He did hit. I love the hit there. Play it big. The one thing you know when you're playing a back game is you must be aggressive. Don't be shy. You got to really go for it. My rules of thumb for back games is number 1, don't play them if you can avoid it. Number 2, if you're in one, try and get out of it. Number 3, if you're in one that you're not going to get out of, which is this is the case here, then go for it all the way. Don't be shy. Keep hitting. Keep putting checkers back. Timing is everything. You put this in the computer and you will get a goofy answer. Even XG doesn't understand these games because XG, as Jim Pasco always says, overvalues the race. So XG is going to think that Black or Mochy is a much bigger favorite than he really is. And Jim would be happy to prop it against anybody taking the other side. And actually, he would prop it against XG. So I love this game. I would, for even money, I would take white in this game. I would say that Dirk and David are favored to win the game. The problem is when things go wrong, they get gammon a lot more. They got an awfully nice board. They got the rack, the 6-5-4. They're not happy about giving up the 1 point right now, but they would much rather do that than give up the 5 point. This is a fun game. What else are you going to do except come down? What a fun game we have here. The cube action is going to get really interesting. I go out to the bar. I play 4 from the 4 point to the 18 point. Really? Okay. He figures he's got enough timing. You don't need to get hit. Let's get that checker moving and make more points, or he really like to make his bar point. It's his next point, even more so than the 3 point. An outside prime on your side of the board is actually better than an inside prime because it allows you to trap the checker and get more checkers later if you hit. So the goal for Dirk and David is to make their 7 point. 2, I would still go out to the bar.
Yeah, I was waiting, but I think we should go for 7 again.
Gives you a lot more flexibility out there. Sure. Would have done that last time. All right, now you can move some wood around the board and get in position to start making more points. I just come around from the 18 to the 12. That's it. You're shooting at the 7 point. Again, that's your goal. Make your 7 point. Make the prime from the back, not from the front. That's the biggest mistake that beginners make, is they try to make the front of the prime instead of the back of the prime. I hate making the 3 point here. I would rather just leave a blot on the 3 point and bring 2 down. Well, what else can you do? What else can you do? It's forced. That and make the 3 point. Show me another play. Oh, it's slotted. Oh, that's right. One came in. That was my play. It's just slotted. I wouldn't want to make it. That's a good blocking point. That makes the 6s awkward and harder for him to come out. This is easy. The 4 comes out, then you decide whether you're going to keep running or cover. You really don't like making points behind your opponent, but I really don't like Mochy's position here, all stacked up. I if I could bet, I would take Dirk and David in this game. I love that they've got this kind of an interesting game. This is much more fun for the fans. Now, when you put this into XG, both their PRs are not going to look very good, because it's very hard for anybody to play like the computer plays, and the computer doesn't always play this right. I trust XG if you roll it out most of the time, but in these back games, I would trust Mochy and Dirk more than I would trust the computer. So when they disagree, it might be that they're right, but they're going to get dinged for it in their PR. That's why when you're playing in BMAB, or where PR, your performance rating number is part of the competition, you want to avoid these games. It's going to hurt both of them. I mean, Mochy and Dirk will typically play well under 3 PR. It would be amazing if they play this game under 4 PR. And maybe even 5 might be the over-under for this game.
I think the 2 is less control. I think the 2 is clear. No, because we could also make it now.
Right, but this way gets terrible.
I would come out and make the bar. You generally want to keep your checkers down low so you get the shot, but I think they've got enough wood by holding the 4-5 point. So it's either going to come out and make the bar or move from the 18 to the 13. And I honestly don't know. I have no clue. I would have made the bar. Whoops. Yep, that's my play. Here's another interesting thing about this game. Both David Stein and Tim are Harvard graduates. They're both pretty smart guys. And if you go to Harvard, as we can see, that prepares you for backgammon. You need to go to a good school so you can become a great backgammon player. All right, timing is everything here. I would move that front checker and then go off the 9 point in and leave and keep all 3 points made. Oh, well, they don't agree. I guess they feel they have enough shots. You don't need to keep all 3 points, and you don't want to put your checkers deeper. This is going to be quite awkward. 3 to the 2 point and 1 to the ace. Leave the double shot now. And then you got, what else are you going to do? This is terrible. I would even be thinking about cubing here if I was. Oh no, you're winning 4-0. You're winning 4-0. You're not going to think about cubing. If the score were reversed, I would certainly double here if I was white. This is just such an ugly, ugly game. Okay, now you do make the 3-point because you're throwing checkers out around anyway. The next shot's going to be deadly. They missed a double shot. This 1, 2, 3. This plays, but leaves you in a horribly awkward situation. Again, I really like white in this game. I've been saying that from the beginning. You slot the bar point because that's the one you want to make. 3-1 plays nicely. If it weren't for the score, you'd see you might even be seeing white doubling here pretty soon. But when you're winning 4-0, you don't take that gamble. Because even if it's a double shot, that's 20 numbers plus maybe some extra vig. Oh, no. Mochy, you can't double. I know they're running out of time, but how could they not take this cube? It might be a double to activate the gammons, but all right, this is forced. I mean, Mochy likes the fact that they've run out of time. Makes the 2-point. So Dirk's timing has gotten a little suspect. He rolled those double 5s. He rolled too many high numbers. Could have gotten hit 1 or 2 more times. This is forced by logic. Okay, now they would like a low roll here. They'd like not to have to come off the 5-point, and that's low enough. A lot of shot leaving numbers here. A lot of numbers are bad. 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, 5-4 plays. Mostly the 6s are bad, but it leaves a double shot. But you might not leave a shot. If you roll without leaving a shot, you've lost your market. Oh, the dice gods have got such a great sense of humor. To throw a double 5 there is so much fun. All right, now he's going to run off the 5-point. You don't run from the back point. He's going to run off the 5-point to keep his board. Just run 1 checker off the 5-point. It was almost guaranteed before the roll that you're doing that. There he goes. Because you got to stop the 6s and you got to keep the back checker. Now there's some better rolls for Mochy. Now they might think about doubling because of the score. Just about every 5 is good. Oh, again, delaying the pain. This is so much fun. Okay, he's going to just stay there, go to the bar. Okay, big roll. The next 2 rolls are going to decide this game quite a bit. Here we go. The 5 is forced. Now I'm doubling. There's too many gammons. Well, I don't know. You're winning 4-0. This is a real interesting situation. If the score was 0-0, this has got to be a double because you're activating gammons. How many times do you hit? You have 11 5s, plus 6-1 is 13, plus 6-4 is 15, plus that's it. So you're hitting a little bit less than half the time. When you hit, you win a gammon some of the time. If you hit both checkers and close the board, that's 40% gammons. So I don't think this is a double when you're winning 4-0. It's an easy take. You're not happy, but you grab this cube in a second. I don't think it's a double. Because every single time he misses, you're going to get doubled out. So let's say you double Mochy and you don't hit. Mochy's going to double back and you have to pass. Your odds of getting a shot, hitting it on the next one are just terrible. So I don't think this could possibly be a double. But Dirk's not wasting time for nothing. He thinks it might be a double. Dirk and David. I'm giving 2-1 odds that they don't double. Oh, we missed it. Okay, now it's going to be double pass. Mochy's going to double, and they're going to pass. They might not get a shot at all. If they get a shot, it's probably only going to be a 30%er. They could get gammoned. I think this is double pass. Well, he agrees with the double. Let's see if Dirk agrees with me that it's a pass. I don't see how you take this cube. He's counting what leaves a shot. Double six, of course, will leave. Double six is his worst roll. That would be fun. Double three, 2-1, double one. There's a bunch of shot leaving numbers, but then you still have to hit it. But there's a lot. Oh my God, they took the cube. Oh my goodness. 2-1. Oh my. Who said 2-1? What a mean person you are. How could you be that mean? Somebody here in the gallery, that's really nasty. Well, certainly you try to minimize shots. What's the fewest shots? You come up there, you duplicate ones, that would be 20 numbers, ones and threes. So that's 20 numbers. So now you clear the blot off the 5 point, and you're going to leave more than 20 numbers because it's 20 plus combinations. So I think he's right. I think you go all the way. That's your fewest shots. That's 20 numbers. What a bad roll for Mochy. And he hits and covers. So, yeah, it was a 4. Now, if he picks up the second checker, they would have about a 40% chance for gammons, but that's going to hurt the chances of getting the second checker. What a sequence. I can't believe they took that cube. I really must be way off on that take, especially when you're winning 4-0. I would not have taken that cube. Can't wait to see that in XG. Did anybody here think that was a take? Nobody. All right, there's the chance second checker. So now gammons are like about 2.5%. So it's going to go. It's going to be 6-0. And now I would redouble because you have shot leaving numbers now 6-4, 6-5. Yeah, now they redouble because the odds of a gammon are very small, and you could easily leave a shot and lose the game. So that's their time to redouble. The time before, they had nothing to lose by rolling and seeing what happens. Maybe you get into a nicer position. So 6-0. If you don't play gammon, go and gammon save at 6-0, then you don't know the game. These guys, I think, know the game. I've coached Mochy and Dirk quite a bit.
Had a great game.
I've had the pleasure of working with both of them. Spend a lot of time traveling with both. Dirk and I spent some really fun time together in Istanbul and other places, in the Bahamas. Of course, Mochy and I have been all over the world together doing boot camps. They're both great guys, great ambassadors of the game, as well as obviously two of the best players in the world, maybe two of the best players ever. They certainly are amongst the best players ever. This tournament is full of incredible players. Aside from these two, you got Mochy and a lot of great German players that are here. Tobias, Mario Kuhl. In fact, you can bet the Germans against the field, and I made that bet 7.5 to 1. Then they have a bet the Jews against the field. They got a bunch of really top Jewish players here, and I'm on that group too. And we have the professors. I'm in that group, the professors against the world, people who've written books and been teaching and writing articles against the world. So really fun bets. But an even game here, isn't it? Very close game. Dirk and David have a better board, but Mochy has a higher anchor, which is a real advantage. At this score, he's even thinking about doubling here, which is such an easy take. So when your opponent is taking, the only major consideration for doubling is, are you going to lose your market? I don't see how Mochy loses his market unless he rolls double 4 or double 6, maybe double 3, making the bar. I don't see enough rolls where on the next roll his opponents would pass. So for that reason, I don't give the cube, even though I'm losing 6-0, because you got nothing to gain if your opponent's taking next time. I guess if you rolled a 2-1, you might get a pass. If you made the 4 point. But it looks like double 6 and double 4. So I really would not like this cube. I think it's such an easy take. I like what Steve says. Steve Sachs says, if it's not a take, it's a mistake. Slot, baby, slot. You can make the ace point or you slot the 4. I think you slot the 4 because there's a blot, and that's the point you want. Because of the blot on the ace point. Wow, I thought Mochy was smarter than that, but he's agreeing with me. That would be my play. This is not even a consideration for me. I didn't even look at that, which is stupid not to look at everything. I didn't consider this. I was thinking you make the ace point or slot. I wasn't thinking about running. All right, they agree with me on the slot. You have a hell of a game if he doesn't roll a 2, and then you might have a double. Now you have a lot more market losers if he doesn't roll a 2. Look at this. This match has been all Dirk and David as far as the luck factor goes. All right, you need a 1 or a 3. Come in with a 3 or a 1. You would even hit with a 4 or a 6. Very, very tough luck for Mochy this game, particularly that last game. Rolling a 2-1 was very sadistic. The dice god is the most sadistic creature on earth. That's why I pray to the giant spaghetti monster, who is a nice guy. So why aren't you? The 1 looks obvious to me. The 2 is the question. I think you clear up the blot, play to the 13, and play 6 to 5. I don't see this is a difficult play. I see the advantage of coming out. That's given. I think you're doing that no matter what. So that's what you always do. Do the part that's forced, then look around. To me, going to the 13 seems natural. It might be a good time to come up, though. But you're not duping 3s in any way. That's what I don't like about coming up. You're giving him 4s, 1s, and 2s, and 3s on the outside. This is a hard play for me. I would have definitely gone to the 13. All right, learned something there. I learned not to come up. Hindsight's always right. Always makes you right. Oh, great roll again for Dirk and David. I'm going to hire David to roll for me. What is going on in Mochy's mind? If he hits, he loses his market, he thinks? Maybe not. He's got a lot of hits. Aside from the ace, he can come in with a 2 or 3 and still hit, but not with the 4. No other play than that. Hit and cover is, he can hit and cover without leaving a blot by playing off the 6 point. 6-2 and 2-1. That looks awfully natural. He's happy he didn't dance. If it wasn't for the score, you'd see a double right now. At this score, it's kind of hard to give the cube. Just clean it all up. Clean up on aisle 3. If you were behind in this match, you might think about hitting there for gammons, but it's just too rich, and you would have been hit back. Wow. I think you just have to come off the 18. No. I was thinking you come off the 18 and go around as opposed to dumping, but I guess that's a very valuable point. So if you bring 2 down, you're only leaving a single direct, and that has to be the play. Needs a 3. Well, Mochy finally got a decent roll. Mochy and Tim. Keep it going. No good deed goes unpunished. He's gonna roll a 1 for sure. because they've gotten every roll they needed so far. If I was sitting in Mochy's seat, I'd be just shaking my head now. I think Mochy's lost before, though. He knows how to handle it. My favorite joke with Mochy is he loses the worst players a lot more than I do. He's thinking about making the 18 point and gambling. Because what kind of a game does he have if he just goes off the 18? Making the 18 point makes an interesting game. You're not going to get doubled at the score. I think that's a much stronger game. I don't think he's got timing to stay back. I like this play a lot. There aren't that many disaster rolls. 5-1 and 6-2. Double one would hurt. I like this play. I think it's hard to win from there. This is a very fascinating play, but I would make the 18. Okay. You don't double very fast when you're winning 6-0. Ah, this is going to be awkward. That's the only play. You just go all the way. All right. 7s and 8s are big for Mochy. Mochy and Tim. 10. Not what he really wanted. This match has been all one-sided, with the luck factor strongly in favor of Dirk. They think they have to make the 9 point and leave the 3. What else are you going to do? You could go to the ace and throw a checker away, and you don't see great players throw checkers away too much. They agree with me. 3 would hurt a lot. Mochy really needs his 3. No, he can't get a roll. He's not got Okay, Wolsey's Law. If you were doubled here, would you take? You're winning 6-0. So if you're losing 6-0, would you take this cube? The answer is I don't know. And that tells me to double. It's very hard to double when you're winning 6-0. But this is such a strong position. It's certainly worth thinking about. He's glad he didn't. Minimizing shots. He's certainly glad he didn't double. Mochy's almost got a double now. He didn't get a 1, of course. Mochy has gotten a good roll all day. They must have had some good rolls yesterday. Okay, the race is not gin, so that's a reason not to double. Black's got 121. $85, yeah, it is. The race is gin. 85, 121. It's a 40 pip lead. I don't see how you can take down 40 pips. You have to get a shot and hit it. Tough position. You really hate to keep passing when you're losing 6-0, but what are your odds of winning from here when you're down 40 pips? Okay, you don't have to have many odds when you're losing 6-0. I thought it was a pass, but don't bet on me if You want to bet on me or Mochy? That's a tough one to answer, isn't it?
Then I hit it.
I thought that was a pass in spite of the score. But it could be that Mochy's hungry and wants to get to lunch. All right. 6-4, 6-1. That's about all I see. That would be bad. 6-4 and 6-1. That's 4 rolls. It's about 11%. And you hit it about 30%. They make real good odds. But Mochy was hoping to come to this situation, and 5-4 all 5s are tough too. The 5 is forced. I think you come off the 5 point, save the 5. I think you come off the 5 point, save a higher number, but it leaves it odd, which gives you some doubles that leave shots. So really, this is not easy. When you play off the 6 point, how are you going to play a 5? You play off the 4 point, how are you going to play double 5, double 6, double 4? Well, double 5 doesn't leave a shot. These are really tough. This is where Bob Wachtel is the expert. Bob, if you're listening, I'm sorry you're not here. One of the best players in the world. Most of the best players in the world are here. We're missing a couple. Most notably, I miss Akiko for not being here. But she was gone most of December and January and wants to make sure her marriage stays solid, so she's in Japan with her husband Hiro. Akiko, David Wells, and I shared Airbnbs all over the world. We were in Jamaica, Cyprus, Miami, Chicago. All right, double 4s. You can't run, you can't hide. You got to run with 1 because you want to save your board. That's it. You're still hoping for a 6-1 or a 6-5. Again, most of the 5s are bad. Very nice roll, Dirk. Mochy, you just can't get a break. Now he's saying, I give up. Just not going to get Gammon. I'm not going to get a shot and win. Just give up. 8-0 Crawford. But I'm the #1 player in the world. I can still win. And I guarantee you one thing, he hasn't given up. I've seen Mochy losing 12-0 and spending every minute on the clock to try and make the right play. Okay, 6-3 is all I see. That's not very many good. That's not good odds. 6-4 is close. The dice gods like to tease. Now you just run off the gammon. Forget it. Game over. You can't get a shot on this roll, and you might not get a shot the next roll. And if you start breaking your board, even if you get a shot, you might not win. And things could go really bad, and you get a fluke gammon by staying. If you roll some numbers that hit, they could pass. Well, the gammons aren't that big, so maybe you do stay, but it's just not much of a... It's the devil in the deep blue sea here. I don't know. It doesn't matter too much. See, that's he's happy he ran now. Double twos, they pointed on him, and there might have been some gammons. But that's hindsight. That's one of the reasons I was right. Okay, 8-0 Crawford. Crawford means that for one game, the team that's behind cannot double. Of course, nobody can double. The team that's ahead would not double, obviously. But if Mochy were to win the next game, Mochy and Tim win the next game, then they would have a double on the first roll every game. I think the Crawford rule is very good. They had a tournament the other night in Seven Spring, and several of the people did not want to play the Crawford rule because they weren't used to it, and I convinced them that it's just a much better game. But I think the thing that mainly convinced them is that, look, get used to playing the same rules that they play everywhere in the world. So when you go someplace else, you'll be used to playing the rules that they play wherever you are. So that's another reason, even whether you like the rule or not, to keep it, play it. Okay, with two doubles and a 2-1, they can win. They have to roll two doubles. And now it's gin. We say gin like gin rummy, the game is over, it's guaranteed. Now it's 8-0 Crawford. And I would say that Dirk and David are favored to win this match. In fact, anybody wants to bet me, call me right now. This is David Runyon. The race is not always to the swift, or the battle to the strong, but that's the way to bet. All right, change the scoreboard, 8-0. And it should say Crawford, meaning no double this game. They often don't make those changes because the players remember. Look, he took the cube off the table. I love that. That way there's no chance of somebody forgetting and making a mistake and doubling.
Huh? Yeah, sure.
Are they taking a break? I certainly would if I was losing 8-0. By the way, if I'm winning 8-0, I take a break too, to just rub it in longer. Anything you can do to make your opponent feel pain is the right thing to do. It's a zero-sum game, Backgammon.
But I lost the one.
So we got two Harvard grads and two super giants. I think these are the only two super grandmasters in the world. The only two players playing at that highest level of PR is Dirk and Mochy. I could be wrong, but I don't think anybody else has a rating as high as Dirk and Mochy. So it's quite a matchup. So what are the winning chances at 1 away, 9 away Crawford? I've got a table that tells us at the Casaros match equity table. And I'm a cheater and I keep it on my phone so I can look it up when I want to. I can't find it right now. My guess is that Mochy's equity is around 6%. They can win the match around 6% of the time, would be my wild guess. Let's see how close I am. Okay, 1 away, 8 away. I was off by 1%. Mochy has 7%. So 7%, 7 times out of 100, that's not impossible. And look at this game. Mochy's finally got a game that's worth smiling about a little bit. He's finally favored, but he can't use the damn cube. The dice gods are still being nasty. Now, does it matter if he wins a gammon? Not a lot, because he would be an odd number of points away if he wins a gammon. And so a gammon really has very little value. There's very, very little value in this situation. If Mochy had 1 point, winning 2 points would be very helpful. It would save a game. So that's the only thing you think about when it's Crawford, is whether gammons matter or not.
Two more games.
This to me is not that hard to play. But one thing you know about Dirk and Mochy, they're both perfectionists. By the way, David and Tim are both perfectionists too. We both of them extensively. And both of them take copious notes on all of our lessons. They studied tremendously hard, and they both become very fine players in a very short period of time as a result of their studies. And they had a great teacher. And then the last one, I think is down if you do that. I like this play of hitting. I don't like going to making the ace point. Making the ace and deuce is another possibility. If gammon's batted a lot, I might be more of a blitzing play. But again, it's important to know the gammons don't help them that much. They got to win the same number of games, assuming the cube is going to be turned to 2 every game, whether they win a gammon or not. He didn't roll a 4. That's the first miss of the match for Dirk and David. I think Mochy and Tim are thinking, finally, we didn't get hit one time. What a relief. One time they might win a game. The odds of winning this game goes from 7% to, let's see, post Crawford. Away, post Crawford. They go up to about 10%. So again, it's important for Dirk and David to know that they don't care if they get gammon that much. So they can play. So both players should be playing what's called DMP, double match point. You just want to win the game. Don't care if you win or lose a gammon. And at double match point, you basically try to win a race. So of course Mochy and you hit or make the point. I think you make the 5 point. He's hitting. Okay. I would have made the 5 point there. I guess the only way you stay in the game is to hit. I would have missed that play. Make the bar. Make the bar. I see the merit of coming down and not leaving that 1 outside. The bar seems like a natural play to me. Whenever I'm in doubt, I go to the bar and have a nice drink. I see the merit of that play. I would have made the other play. And my play certainly would have worked better. Ha ha ha. I get it, I told you so. And hit. We could see Dirk intentionally getting hit to get into a back game. Again, he doesn't care about getting gammons at this score, so maybe you want to play a back game. It's an ugly roll. 6, I slot the 4 point. That's the point I want to make. Getting hit isn't so bad. Make another point, maybe play a back game. He would have timing for that game. It would probably work. I do not hit. I would not hit him. I think hitting him helps him here. I would just go by him all the way up to the 5 point, or I might play 6 to 5. Think about it. Hitting actually would help him, giving him a chance to make it a second point. And again, gammons don't matter. Now, if gammons matter, that's an argument for hitting. That's why it's important to know whether gammons matter or not. Wow. I guess he's saying he doesn't have timing for this game anyway, so I'll hit him. But I certainly disagree with that play. And I wouldn't bet on me.
Small concern about.
Of course, he doesn't have enough timing anyway, even if he rolled the ace. What else is there but going down to the 13? I go, yeah, you could come into the 5 point. It's another builder. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Play 7 to 5 and play, that's it, 7 to 5. It's a beautiful setup to make your 3 point.
We could possibly solve
Hit and cover. I might even just hit loose. I might try to play a big backgammon. Again, gammas don't matter. I would go for it. I know I'm hitting. Then I try and figure out where the 4 is. So the 1-2 back game is a great game if it's timed. It's the best game, I think, if it's timed. He's not going to let him get into it. Look at that play. Look at that aggressive play. He's not going to let him have a 1-2 game. How many people in the world would have seen and made that play? It was a beautiful, beautiful play. He decides, I'm going to blitz, and I'm going to pick and pass, make the ace point. He could just make the 3, but I would make the ace. You got all that ammunition for the 3. I would make the ace. That was just a brilliant play by Mochy and Tim, going to the ace and stopping him from making it. There's a real lesson there. You know your opponent would love to roll an ace there. Don't give him that chance. And it's not about winning gammons. Again, gammons don't matter. It's about winning the game. What a beautiful, beautiful play by Mochy and David. I'm sorry, Mochy and Tim. I'll bet you not 10% of the open players would have seen that play, would have made that play. I would have seen it. I'm not sure I would have made it. I consider myself to be pretty good at these back games because I've played so much Pascal gammon, and I might well have missed that play. The second he did it, I said, oh, is that brilliant? You got a genius playing out there, which reminds me of Joe Theismann, who was doing the commentary on a football game, and somebody said that some of the coaches was a genius. He said, he's not a genius. There's no geniuses in football. The genius is someone like Norman Einstein. That's a true quote. Okay.
Go back to poker there.
I just want to get this to, this is also at 12. Okay. And I want to get to 15.
So unless Mochy gets unlucky, and he certainly has been unlucky this whole match, if he leaves a shot, he's going to win a gammon. It'll be 8-2. Then what you think about is, do you have a free drop or not? And the answer is no. When your opponent has an odd score, like 1, 3, 5, or 7, you have a free drop. Because it's odd to have a free drop. So remember, an odd score gives you a free drop. So when you don't have a free drop, that means that Mochy and Tim, whenever they double, just about whenever they double, it's going to be a take.
Thank you so much.
You can't afford to drop it.
You don't mind saying
My goal is got to be too good. playing weaker players, you don't necessarily double right away. You might try and trick them getting to be in a decent position and getting on the pass, giving you 1 point, which is very, very big. So knowing how to play when your opponent does not have a free drop is very, very important. And I've seen open players mess that up. I'm not going to name names, but Matt Congeyer did it in Miami against a very, very top English player. He got him to drop when he didn't have a free drop by waiting a few rolls. It's called the trick. You're not going to do the trick successfully against Dirk Schiemann or Mochy, so you don't mess with it. I just double on the first roll against guys like that. Why? Because if you wait, you might lose your market. You might roll double sixes. You might roll something really great, and now you're going to be sorry that they dropped because you could have won enough gammons. Don't roll a 3. I said don't roll a 3. How come nobody listens to me? Do you split if you roll a 2 here? That's always the question. You get more shots, you might get double shots by splitting with a 2. A lot of bad rolls here. 1s and 3s. This is the first game where Mochy's rolled reasonably well. The backgammon does matter. You want to get off the backgammon. That's why you had to move that checker. And if he rolled the number to come out, he might, but since he can't come out, he may as well stay. Although if you stay and he rolls doubles and you roll a double 1 or a 2-1, those odds are very small. So you may as well stay in case he rolls a 1. Take 2 checkers off. Doesn't matter because it's the same number of shots. You get an extra checker off in case you get hit. Wow, the first miss by Dirk. He concedes a gammon. It's 8-2. 8-2. What happened to the equity there? It's probably a little better than 10%, probably 12%. So that's 1 away, 7 away, 15, 16%. Wow. No, post Crawford, it's 11%. 7 away, 1 away, post Crawford. It's 11.5% chance for Mochy to win the match. So every game is going to be played with a 2 cube, and Dirk and David have to take every cube. They can't pass, because losing 1 point is the same as losing 2. So Mochy's going to double right now. He's not going to play the trick game against Dirk. He's going to double. Dirk has to take, as advertised. That activates the gammons. Mochy wins a gammon here. And this is a great, oh, wow. A good roll for Mochy. Wow. The luck factor has finally turned a little bit here. It was such a lopsided game before. Hit 2. I'm very tempted to hit 2. It's fun to hit 2. Boom, boom. Come on, do it, do it. Somebody would have to hold my arm to stop me from hitting 2 here. All right. Sure. Especially at the score, gammon's big. It's way too much. Oh no. Putting a second checker on the bar when gammons matter like that, I just can't see playing passive like this. Your opponent's going to anchor. Oh, I wouldn't even consider this play. Why don't they read my book? Especially, you know, if I was winning 8-2, this is the play. I'm losing 8-2. Come on. Yes. For the fans. Thank you. course he's done it more than one, but you just can't assume the luck's going to be good or bad. It's going to average out. All right, good. Sixes, ones, and fives are all great. Five covers. Four comes down for another builder. If he doesn't roll a five here, you got a hell of a game. Yes. It doesn't sound like I'm rooting for Mochy, does it? I'm not rooting for him. I like both teams. They're all great friends of mine. But I'm rooting for a better match. And this is more exciting if Mochy gets back in the match. Fives is big. Not that five. Mochy's got a lot of great rolls here. A lot of great rolls. That's not one of them. I think you hit a second checker. I'm not sure what you do here. All I know is I'm hitting another checker. Oh my goodness.
I think five is fine.
I would hit with the five and bring a four down. Play it real big. Or you could easily just bring a four to the bar point. I'd rather hit him off the 3 point than the 2 point because that's the one I don't want him to make more. And the four, you got to bring another checker in range. The beauty of going to the, oh my goodness, hit three. Triple tiger. Laughing hyena. I call this laughing hyena. That never entered my mind, hitting three. There is merit to that. Oh, why not? Why not a builder? I guess he feels he has enough builders. Oh, double two. Another big joker for Dirk. Comes in with all of his checkers and hits. Wow, what a roll. What a roll. I have no idea where the five is here. I guess you come out. It's out or down. I guess he'd like to make the 20 points, so maybe he leaves the checker there for that reason. That's fewer shots. I really have no clue here. No clue. Awkward. That's the best word I can use for this situation in this role. You are hitting. Just the question is where. This is a funny situation. I would be tempted to hit off the 5 point with those two blots on the other side, but you want to play a little more conservative if you're winning 8-2. All right, Mochy's got some chances to do some stuff. The 3 covers, and the 6 comes out. 3, I think, covers from the 6 point, and the 6 comes out. I think from the 20 point, because you don't want to be attacked there. I think you come off the 20. This is a whole nother approach. This is so complicated. By the way, look at the clock. Mochy's down to under 2 minutes. Dirk's got 9 minutes. This is typical for Mochy. I promise you Mochy will not run out of time. He's very aware of the clock because he's used to being down low on the clock. I have no idea what you should do here. make the bar. You can hit and slot the bar. Hit and slot the bar seems natural to me. Hitting 2, that's a possibility. You know what? I might hit 2. I might hit off the 2-point here. He's thinking about it. I love this game. This is a very intricate game. I like that play. That's the fewest shots back. You only get hit with double 2 and double 1. Right, with any 2 and double 1. I see the merit of this play a lot. In fact, now that I see it, I like it. I like it more than hitting 2. If you needed a gammon, hitting 2 might be right, but he doesn't need a gammon. He only needs 1 point to win the match. I like the hitting 2 play, but I also like this play. I see the merit of both. Oh, nice roll for Dirk. There's no end to his nice rolls. Do you hit 2 again? Coming out is pretty suicide. Hitting 2 gets you gammon too much, but it wins more. You're always torn between, do I want to win more and risk more gammons or not? Risk and reward is just so dramatic at these scores. He can get gammoned a lot more with this play if it goes wrong, but he certainly wins a lot more if it goes right. And gammons are big. That's the best way to let Mochy back in the match. But you always have to weigh it against the alternative. The alternative is such a ugly play. Whatever 2 you make doesn't duplicate anything. Leaves another blot. You get gammon that way anyway. I think you do hit 2. I think you do. Oh my God, what doesn't hit? Double 6s. The conservative non-gammon play. There's something that doesn't hit. Oh my goodness. Mochy, what's the matter with your rolling today? I would fire Tim. That's Tim's fault. He's doing the rolling. Yeah, come on, hit it. Wow. Mochy had such a great blitz going that never really fomented. Is that the word? Foment? It never came to be. Wow. It just continues. One great roll after another for Dirk and everything going wrong for Mochy. This is forced. It's come down to the 13, from the 13. What else? You think about coming out? He did come out. Wow. 6-2 is a very impotent roll. You can't even go behind him. So you go in front of him. You just slot the 3-point. Leaving a shot anyway, put the checker where you want it to be. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Slot the 3-point. What's going on? You could hit off the 2-point. That makes some sense to get rid of him there. So you're either gonna, I guess you could hit off the 2-point. Maybe that's right. One more shot. All the 2s and double 1s instead of just a 1. But I'd rather make the 3-point. Remember, Mochy's got 1 minute and 33 seconds on the clock. which could be a very big problem. If he wins this game, there'll be more games to go, which means he's not going to be listening to Tim too much. He's just going to move. This play looks natural to me. It's either that or slot the 3. I don't like leaving those 3 checkers back on the 11 point. It's going to be harder to clear later. I would slot the 3 by playing all off the 11 and keeping the 9 point. This is probably my play. Yeah, you know you're going to get missed. Mochy hasn't had a good roll this match. Hardly any. He must have had 1 or 2 to win the last game. A point cleared is a point not to be feared. You don't care about making points behind. You care about bringing your checkers home safely now, because you're winning the race by 1.5 miles. It's a good time to go while your opponent has a blot, because he cannot hit and cover. Not with this double 2. Well, there is the safe play, playing for the back. You could play 2 and 2 also from the back. I like this play. The odds are he won't roll the 2, and you've got a nice setup. And even if he rolls the 2, you got 20 numbers to come in unless he hits and covers. The other play is crushy. You know what? The more I think about it, I like the other play. Why take any chances? You're way up in the race. Yeah. Why not play all 4 off the 9? That's me. That's my play. You're not likely to leave shots. I like this play. See how they're talking during the match? This is because of friendship. Even though this is a lot of money involved in a serious match, Dirk and Mochy they go back a long way. They've worked together. They're both part of the Backgammon Learning Center team. They've competed in BMAB many times. In the meantime, the clock is ticking. Especially in doubles, that clock becomes a factor. They get 21 minutes. Oh, no, they got 27 minutes to start with and a 15-second delay. Oh, a good roll for Mochy. I would not have made that play, by the way. Like I said, I would not have let the shot. A gammon would be big here. Pop out. You're worried about those 6s crashing. Do you slot the? No. I guess you do slot. I wasn't sure about the slot. Mochy would like a 5. He'd like the numbers to come out. Come around. Okay. Dirk's going to roll a 2-5. We know it, don't we? Whew. I saw the 5. This is not good. This is not good at all. Mochy didn't make the point, and he's starting to crush. He needs 2 6s before he crashes. He could lose by Dirk could just keep dancing and win unless Mochy rolls 6s. Nope. That's actually not a good roll. A 6 is much better roll than making the point. Nope. No. the luck factor has been very, very strongly against Mochy this match. And even if your name is Mochy, if you have bad luck, you ain't going to win, especially if you're playing another one of the best players in the world. It ain't over yet. It ain't over yet. It just got exciting. Huge. Okay. He's not sure. Fewer shots by coming up. I would make the fewer shots. Although getting hit inside, you get more return shots. So there's merit to staying back. 6s and 5s Mochy needs. Got neither. Now Dirk is not going to be afraid to hit him loose. He's going to hit him loose and come out. Mochy would love a 4-6. That's the magic number. Oh, 3-6. You missed by 1. What a difference a digit makes. 1 pip in this game could be monstrous. This is a very, very poor roll for Dirk. What do you do? No, I think you just go to the 2 point with 13-2. You could make the ace point, but then you lose a builder. I would go to the 2 point, 13-2. He agrees. No, I don't like. Well, that's not bad. This is not bad. This has merit. As a matter of fact, I think it's right because the other play you give him a 6 and it's over. Now he's got to roll a 3 and a 6. Yeah, I like this play. Now that I see it, I like it. Mochy. Hard to believe he actually rolled a good roll. And a good return. 6-4. 6-4. 6-4. Okay, you're not going to let him have any joker aces. I would have played 6-4. Probably not a big difference. Okay, he's going to hit loose. 7-5 gives him another builder. 7-5, I think. Okay, that gives him 8s to cover. But he had 5-3 anyway. He had 6-2 he gains on. He gains with a 6-2 on this one. Mochy getting a roll again, huh? A dance here would be big. This is big if Mochy can roll a 6. He's right in this match if he can roll a 6 right now. Nope. A 6 is the whole match right here. He got it. And a 2 on top of it. Oh my God. All that horrible luck got built up for Mochy to finally roll something good. Wow. And that was huge. 6-5 plays nicely. Mochy's odds of a gammon here are pretty big. You get a gammon, it's 8-6. We got 3 away, 1 away. Holy cow. Mochy would be about 25%. Oh, I'm sorry. He'd be 32%. He has to win 2 games or win a gammon. This is post Crawford. So he'd have 32% chance if he wins a gammon here. And these odds just went way up. Wow, is that a 6-2? That made up for a hell of a lot of bad rolls. If Mochy wins this match, that will be the roll that we remember will that swung the entire match. That is the roll worth thousands and thousands of dollars, too. And it's not about the fame. It's about the money. These guys already got the fame. All right, that's it. Woo! What a 6-2. That's Tell me another game that has that kind of excitement that backgammon has. In this game we just saw. Wow. What an equity swing. Not only did he roll the 6, but he hit as well. Change that score, 8-6. Change that scoreboard, baby. What a game. Woo. Okay, 3 away, 1 away. So Mochy doubles on the first roll. If he wins the gammon, he wins the match. Otherwise, he's got to win 2 games. The odds of winning 2 games is 25%, but you add another 7% that he might win a gammon. So that's why he has 32% equity at the score. We got a match now. Wow. Remember, it was 8-0 a second ago. Mochy's got 1:33 on the clock. For him, that's a lifetime of time. The first round of the Open is starting shortly. I may have a match to go to shortly because I am playing and I bet on myself. So I've got to they haven't texted me yet. They'll text me when I have my match. Wow, wow, wow. Mochy wins this game. It's a even match. And by the way, I wouldn't be surprised if they did some hedging. Hedging means they make an agreement on the money to take a piece of each other. If you get the double match point and you're 2 equal, relatively equal players and you're friends, maybe you make a deal. You have to hit. He's thinking about making the 5-point or hitting. You always hit here unless you can make the 5-point. So I don't know. My gut is to hit. And then Kim, no, my gut is to play 24-23. Yes. Okay. My gut's the same as Dirk. That's a pretty good gut. For those of you who joined late, this is Phil Simborg doing the commentary. I am not going to be doing the commentary the entire tournament because I'm going to be winning the tournament. And I'm so confident that I put a bet on myself. Go to gourmet.dk and see the odds on every player and bet. And because I wasn't the favorite, I should have been, because I'm clearly the best player here, I decided to make a bet on myself. So this is starting to look like Mochy can win the match in this game. Oh my God, that 2 is big. Mochy's favorite to win. He could easily win a gammon with that. Without that 2, that 2 is big. What a great turnaround! Amazing turnaround. 8-0 Crawford, and now he's favored. He's favored to win the match because he's 50-50 if he just wins. And if he wins the gammon, he wins the match. And it's starting to look gammonish. Unless Dirk rolls a 2 right now. I don't know about that coming up. I would have come down with both and played for more of the blitz. But, there's the 2. All right. That saves a tremendous number of gammons. And by the way, it also wins you some games. Dirk is not out of this game from winning. He's not looking good, but he's certainly better that he came in and rolled the 2. Comes down. Mochy would love a 6-5. 4-1 makes 2 points. Why not? Why not make both points? Come on. Oh, no, he doesn't. He doesn't want to get stuck there. He wants action. He wants action because it's gammon go, baby. That's a play I would have missed. I absolutely would have missed that play. A 5 or an 8 is big here for Mochy. Wins a lot of gammons if he rolls a 5 or an 8. There's a 5. Yes. Oh my goodness, what a comeback this could be just epic. Losing 8-0 Crawford. You got to feel for David and Dirk if they lose. Both great guys, great players. Oh, I think you have to hit, or else your 6s are ugly anyway. Wow, I don't know what you do here because you're playing gammon save. A gammon cost you the match. Cost you 50% equity to lose a gammon because if you just lose the game, you're 50%. And if you lose a gammon, you're 0. So a gammon costs you 50% equity. That's a lot. That's why you didn't hit. And Mochy's going for it. Oh my God, what a match. I'm so honored to be selected to do commentary and have fun giving my insights and my comments here. I hope you're enjoying it. And if you're not, turn off the sound. All right. Even if he makes the ace point, there's lots of, now we got us an interesting game. Oh, he made the ace point. Again, he's playing gammon save. I'm not sure about that 5. He made it very quickly. I'm not sure you don't go big time for the back game, but it's a lot of gammons. A 1-2 back game is a great game, but it sure gets gammoned a bunch. This could be the match if he gets gammoned here. The timing is not great. And making that ace point, I think, was horrible. I just never would have even thought of that. Am I saying that Dirk made a horrible play? I must be an idiot to make a comment like that. And by the way, in many ways, I am an idiot. If I was smart, I'd be out there playing. I never would have made the ace point with that 5. Now, even if things go well, you've got the damn ace point. And it is the damn ace point. That's the way it should be labeled. It's the damn ace point. Is damn a swear word? I'm not supposed to say it. It's that friggin' ace point. Mochy has to play fast. He's down to a minute 18. Talk about an awkward roll. This could be his worst. It got to be his worst roll. Now he has to make the 2 point. I guess that wasn't that terrible. Mochy doesn't mind dancing at all. Double ones. I'm not sure you don't play 24-23 with both. Yeah. You don't try and play a 1-2 back game when you have no timing. You come up. I did that yesterday and got gammoned. Come up again. Right. He's not trying to play a 1-2. An untimed back game is not a game. So you don't even try to play it. He's just trying to get off the gammon.
If you do not have a text message, check your email as well, because it may enter your email on your phone at the time. If you do not have a text or email, see it.
What an exciting match this has become. It was very, very boring for a long time. He can play the 4-1, 4 out, and 5-4. Why take any? Oh, I'm sorry, I got the wrong guy on roll. I looked up for a minute. Dancing is not terrible anymore. There's a cracker. That's the worst roll. There's no question about this. Okay, no more complaining about Mochy's dice and no more talking about how lucky Dirk is. I think that ship has sailed. That just increased the gammons. And gammons means the match. Mochy is now favored to win this match. Wow. What a match. What a turnaround. 8-0 Crawford. And here he is. Almost sure to win a gammon and win the match. I got a feel for Dirk and David. What a thrill it was for me to do this commentary. What a match. Nice roll, making the ace. Okay, it's a gammon for sure, unless Dirk gets really, really lucky, gets a shot, and is somehow able to scamper off the gammon. If you put this in XG, I would think you're talking about 95% gammons. Forget about the win. The win is in the bank. And when Dirk wins this game, I will gladly apologize and say I was wrong, because the fat lady doesn't sing until the very end in a backgammon game. Oh, it's not over till it's over. I think that it was a Yogi Berra. I think there's an argument to come off the 6 here. Nothing leaves a shot this way. That's why you do it. But coming off the 6 and clearing, your opponent has no board. All you want is get him home. Could have been right. 5 and 3. 5 off the 6. You can't leave a double shot against the 2 points, so you're not that worried about having 2 on the 6 and 5. If he was on the 1 point, you would worry about that. Clear everything and just play for the gammon. All right. So the only hope for Dirk is if there's an earthquake. I don't see much hope. He's got to get a shot, hit it, and still get off the gammon, which would be hard to do. What an amazing game we play backgammon. This is an unbelievable match. Mochy never gives up. I'm talking like it's over because it really is almost over. How does Dirk not get gammoned here? Stay tuned for a lot more streaming. We'll have some remote commentators. We got some really good people like Alex, if he's available, and Kent Goulding did some commentary. And of course, for live commentary, if and when I ever get beat, I'll be back. There's a chance he doesn't get gammoned here. He's got to hit the shot, though. He's got to hit the shot. And still, it's going to be hard not to get gammoned after hitting the shot. Slot the point so that you have the point. You want to make that 6 point so that when you get the shot, you've got some teeth. All right, a lot of shots here. He needs a 1 or doubles. Oh my God, that's the match. That is the entire match. Unbelievable. Mochy was losing. Mochy and Tim were losing 8-0 Crawford and clawed all the way back to win the match. Amazing. Wow, what a match. Unbelievable. Stay tuned for more. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button. We'll see you later. I'm going to go win the tournament.
Raise your hand.